So, as you guys may know, the Hamas leader was recently killed in Iran. This is a big deal because that means that obviously he was killed in a place that Israel was not supposed to touch. There was that agreement there between Israel and Iran that they would not obviously touch each other in their respective areas. But that has now changed. There is a recent update to that story that just posted today. Now it's been brought forth that the Hamas leader was killed by explosive device planted months before the explosion. We're going to get into that story. Here is a clip here from CNN.
More breaking news right now, and this coming from the Middle East. Tensions skyrocketing there after assassinations this week, and we are getting right now some brand new details about exactly how the assassination of the Hamas political leader Ismail Haniyeh went down. And these are incredible details that Jeremy Diamond is breaking. He's in Haifa, Israel, in northern Israel right now. And Jeremy, these details are pretty stunning.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Aaron. I mean, this was a quite sophisticated operation. I'm told by a source familiar with the matter that Ismail Haniyeh was assassinated in Tehran early yesterday morning using a bomb that was covertly hidden in the guest house where he was staying. But this bomb, I'm told, was actually covertly planted inside that guest house about 2 months ago, and it was only remotely detonated once it was clear that Ismail Haniyeh, Hamas's political leader, was actually inside his room inside of that guest house
So if that is true, that means that Israel has been planning this for months. And that means that obviously that agreement that they had with the US government not to obviously fire in Iran, I still consider this firing into Iran. It is their country, their territory, was BS, obviously. This is huge for a number of reasons, but this is also huge because, number one, this means that Iran is going to respond. And last time, the response that we saw from Iran, I think that was just them little testing around a little bit to show Israel, hey, we can do something if we want to. But now, obviously, I think that is going to change. This implicates the U.S. as well. Now, I don't know if everybody knows this, but Secretary Lloyd has already made a statement that said he will send American troops to Israel if need be to help Israel fight back against Iran if need be. This concerns all of us. There are already warships on its way to the Middle East. This was reported earlier. There were 12 warships on the way to the Middle East. Lebanon just recently fired rockets towards Israel. So everybody's talking about Russia and Ukraine. I warn you guys that if we did not have a ceasefire, this would escalate and this would implicate the U.S. because they would send American troops. This is not a game. So if this is true, that it was planted 2 months ago, they always planned to hit them in Iran, which technically this is not okay by international law. And here's the reason why. This would be the equivalent. Imagine if when Netanyahu came to the U.S., if Hamas attacked or killed Netanyahu when he was on U.S. soil. You wouldn't do that, right? So the U.S. government tells Israel they have the right to defend themselves. They have the right to go after Hamas, even though they've been killing all these damn civilians. But they do not have the right to do that in Iran. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not really trying to get nuked. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not really I don't want a World War III. Let's continue a little bit more.
Bomb was detonated. He was killed alongside his bodyguard, who was also there. Now, we should note that Israel has still neither confirmed nor denied its involvement in this. Iranian officials and Hamas have said that Israel was behind this attack. I'm also told that Israeli officials actually briefed U.S. officials on this operation, but only after it took place, only after we learned that Ismail Haniyeh had been killed in this. What's also interesting here is that this guest house was actually under the control of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. And so this represents a stunning breach of security for them, a very big embarrassment for the IRGC. And we've reached out to Iranian officials for comment on this, but we know, of course, that we heard yesterday from Iran's supreme leader vowing revenge, saying that Israel has, quote, paved the way for your harsh punishment. This assassination has put this region on a knife's edge. In addition, of course, to the Israeli strike in Beirut just hours before this that took out a senior Hezbollah commander, there are now threats of retaliation, not only from Iran, but also from Hezbollah and Hamas, putting this region and this area where I am right now in northern Israel very much on edge as the possibility of retaliation now looms. Aaron.
So I think you are going to see a lot of people from Israel try to leave, try to flee, because this is the warning that was sent out yesterday. Iran's leader orders attack on Israel for Hayani killing. Officials say Iran's supreme leader, Khamenei, I hope I always pronounce his name right, Ali Khamenei, ordered retaliation after a humiliating security failure as Iran once again balances showing strength against the risk of escalation. So people have to understand, like, this is a big deal. Again, this was in Iran where they came after him. So it goes on to say here, Iran's supreme leader has issued an order for Iran to strike Israel directly in retaliation for the killing of Tehran of Hamas's leader, according to 3 Iranian officials briefed on the order. He gave the order at an emergency meeting of Iran's Supreme National Security Council on Wednesday morning, shortly after Iran announced that Mr. Khamenei had been killed, said 3 Iranian officials, including 2 members of the Revolutionary Guard. So guys, this is not a game. This is not a game. And I don't know if they say that they are going to do a retaliatory. They've done this before. They've already shown Israel what they can do. That was just a taste of it. Iran has powerful weapons. And we're talking about a full-scale Middle East war. You have Israel and Hezbollah fighting each other. You have Israel bombing Gaza. And now Iran is going to respond to Israel because of their attack against the Hamas leader in Iran. For the longest time, Israel has pretended like they're just invisible. They're invincible, excuse me. And nobody can hold them accountable. And we've seen thing after thing, the ICJ, the ICC, we've seen other countries turn against Israel for what they are doing in Gaza. But even that apparently wasn't enough. It apparently wasn't enough to have people protesting all across the world against Israel. Apparently wasn't enough. But this may be just the ticket. Because Iran is not going to play around, fam. Not going to play around. And I don't think Iran really wants this. I don't think they really want some type of a war with Israel. But they have warned them over and over again. I think you are about to see several people in Israel get on planes and leave Israel. I think that's what you're about to see happen. And we warned you guys of all of this. We warned you there needed to be a ceasefire because this was going to escalate. Now, let's get back to Secretary Lloyd Austin. Because Secretary Lloyd Austin, he's already making claims. He said in the wake of Hayani killing, Austin says the U.S. will help defend Israel if it is attacked. So I don't know about you guys, but I didn't sign up for this. Did you sign up for this? Did you? This guy, who apparently is supposed to be recovering as well. Apparently he is sick and he's also recovering, but he ain't too sick to start sending troops over there. You know what I'm saying? So it goes on to say here, the U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin reiterated his unwavering commitment to Israel's security on Wednesday and said Washington would come to its defense if needed. hours after Hamas political leader Hanini was killed in Iran early Wednesday in a targeted assassination attributed to Israel. So this guy. This is why I told you, get out of the military. This is why Aaron Bushnell did what he did. I wasn't kidding. I warned people about this months ago. I said, they are ready to send your family members, your friends over there to fight their wars. Also, they can have the resources. They can have oil, all to protect Israel. They're going to send you over there to kill brown people abroad just to protect Israel. This is insane. This is crazy. Oh, and by the way, let's just go a step further here, because if you think that U.S. military and Israel are not going to have some type of other opposition to meet if they fire on Iran, you are wrong. I could definitely see Russia getting into this. I could definitely see Russia trying to help or defend Iran. I could see, obviously, the Houthis trying to defend them as well. Are you kidding me? This is insane. All because the U.S. has unwavering support for Israel. They got unwavering support for Israel, but they don't have unwavering support for Americans. Make this make sense to me, fam. They got unwavering support for another country. They don't have unwavering support for you. You struggling to put food on the table. You struggling with these high ass grocery prices. You struggling to pay for rent. You struggling to do all these things. They have unwavering support for another country, but they don't have support for the people in this country. Enough is enough. I don't know how many times to say this. They'll let you sleep out on the street. You got veterans sleeping on the damn street. People who fought for their country. They don't have unwavering support for those veterans when they return back to this country. The VA barely wants to be bothered with them. I know, I've dealt with the VA. You talking about years. Soldiers dealing with PTSD for years, sleeping outside on the streets. They don't want to feed your kids in the school. They don't want to give your kids the new textbooks. They don't want your buildings to have heat, to be free from asbestos. They don't want those things to happen. You struggling right here at home in the country that is supposed to take care of you, supposed to help you. The American dream. And I don't know how many times I have to say this. Israel's economy is ruined. Okay, you have commercial airlines announcing they will not fly to Israel, boo. Commercial airlines are making these statements now. All because they have to protect this state, this created state, because of a book. And they believe that that is where Israel has to be because of religion. Religion is a belief. We are facing dangerous times. And while everybody else is busy watching the Olympics, I haven't even looked at the Olympics, boo. They want you to be distracted by the Olympics. They want you to be distracted by Kamala Harris. They gave you a shiny new toy to look at so that you're not focused on what is happening that is even more important. These are dangerous times and these are crazy times, and I'm very concerned.